Hello and welcome to another episode of Historically Speaking podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Badri Narayan ji. Thank you for joining us. He is head of the GB Pant Institute in Allahabad. He's a very acclaimed author, has written several books, has appeared on many channels offering a detailed perspective on different questions of Indian politics, has written extensively on a variety of issues and possesses deep knowledge on a range of issues that impact Indian democracy. Thank you, Badri Narayan ji,
Thank you,
for
Aishwarya,
inviting me, coming to our podcast. My first question to you is that all around since the beginning of March 2024, all that we are hearing is caste census, caste census, caste census. It is emerging as one of the biggest demands of the opposition. It certainly is not a new demand. Can you provide us a historical perspective of the caste census and break down for the viewer what is the caste census and why does the opposition want it so bad?
See, thank you for inviting me, Aishwarya. I think it's very pertinent questions for contemporary understanding contemporary society and politics. You know, the way this caste census, what caste census means for us. It has two meaning. One is its functional meaning, and other is what it's going to impact the society. So, if you see the historically, when caste census came, caste census always try to because the entire power is the power in which the distribution system is defined by the numbers, and caste census provides you numbers. So numbers, if you prove that you are of a higher number, so you can claim for a major share in the power, in the democracy, in the power, in the developmental projects. That's why everyone is running towards power, number, and caste census give you numbers. So for the first thing is this. Secondly, in this process, you get mobilized. No, you bring many like subcaste, lot of subcaste you have integrated in one, and you started telling we are this like Mallah. So they have more than 30, 40 subcasts, but now they are saying, no, we are one and we have so many numbers. Similarly, caste. If once I met on an airport, one of the person, Rashtriya Sahara, the Sahara Shri group of the person who was heading the Sahara Shri group, it was Srivastav, OP Srivastav. So he was telling to the people that, see, caste यहाँ भी हैं, आंध्र प्रदेश में भी हैं, तमिलनाडु में भी हैं, केरला में भी हैं, here है, there, ये कास्ट वहाँ की है, ये कास्ट है, ये कास्ट वहाँ की है, कास्ट है. So he pan-India caste identity. So everyone started making pan-India caste identity because of claiming the power, the share in the power. And share in the power means MLA ka ticket, MP ka ticket, ministerial berth. And these are the leaders, these are the people who are leading the community. They are aspirant for the tickets of the political birth by the political power. So they want their number should be huge. And this is the time of bigness, no? Everyone wants to become big. So big jo hai, and that is so everyone wants to become big. So ye census ka. But in that process, census creates fragmentation. You must have heard because you are a historian.
Yes.
When census came, there was a lot of conflict started in the society. Samit Sarkar has documented how many complaints came to the FIR complaints. Someone started claiming them higher caste. Someone started saying, no, he's not higher caste, he's lower caste.
My ancestors are this, my ancestors are that.
Yes. A lot of conflict started. This kind of a space nowadays, if you are going to claim that I am Yadav, a Yadav will be happy. They are not going to say that you are not Yadav because that enhance their number.
Yes.
So that's the change.
Yes.
But it will fragment society in different way because it will fragment society between many bigs. Earlier it was many smaller and smaller communities, fragmentation at micro level, at a smaller level. Now there is a possibility for fragmentation on major major communities. So Yadav, Brahmin, Thakur, no. So this kind of identity will be enhanced, and those enhancement of the identity may create conflict in the society, political conflict, social conflict, various kinds of conflict.
There's this lady in Bangalore. She's the CEO of this company. So she tweeted on Twitter saying there was just a post and a picture of her on a holiday, and she wrote in that picture Brahmin genes. And she said that I own zero point 0.0 hectares of land. I live in a rented accommodation. I got 97% or 96% in my this, but the 60% person got admission because of this. It was something that divided Twitter because she posted on Twitter. It got 8 million impressions on Twitter, and then she put stickers on her car. Then today, this morning, I was seeing on Instagram that one gentleman has got Jat tattooed on his forehead. Jat, and he's saying that this is a symbol of my caste identity, and I want to wear it with a badge of honor. So I don't want to put it on my arm, but I want to put on my forehead. So everyone, whoever talks to me, knows that I am a Jat. So, if you see on the stickers behind cars, some people are writing Jat, Rajput, Yadav, Yadav ki Fauj, or stuff like this. So, where you talk about fragmentation, there is a clear-cut realization that we are this, we are this, we are this. So when there is a talk of caste census from the opposition side, we also have such these things where society, there's no end to this fragmentation. Tomorrow, someone could be this and that, and then this will just lead to tension in society. So, what is your perspective that now the new generation is getting increasingly embroiled in this debate, and how far do you see is it a dangerous trend?
See, Shreya, actually, if you see this caste census
Yeah.
is a continuum of democratic politics.
Yes.
And you know, democratic electoral politics has reproduced caste in India.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So that's one of the another strategy by democratic electoral politics to again reproducing caste in Indian society. It's a continuum. So earlier they did some other things. Now they are doing caste census. So but caste census may have both meaning. In one way, it is fragmenting the society. On the other hand, it may empower most marginal because we don't know about them. Who are they? They are invisible. If you see in the Dalit list of the Dalits in Uttar Pradesh, we have 66 Dalit community. But if you count, if you ask, I ask every university to whenever I go to lecture, deliver lecture from the student to the student, how many castes do you remember among Dalits? No one is able to tell more than 4 and 5 castes.
Yes.
Because means 60 are individual because we don't know about them, their numbers, their requirements, so if caste census in one way may enhance, may empower such community if policy is being distributed based on that, but on the other hand, it will make dominant or mega to those who are dominant. So one has to see if caste census will happen and policy is going to reframe based on the caste, that you have to check this dominant to not become more aggressive dominant, and also try to lift this most marginals in democracy, in the debate of democracy. So it's a double-edged sword. So,
But do
what you are told very interesting thing about the caste on the car and then also
tattoo.
and the tattoos. You see, it's very interesting. We are being modern, we are being democratic, and we are also being casteist. So it's all going together.
Yes.
And
how does that work?
Yes, and yeah, that's the that's the contradiction in Indian mind, of Indian mind. No, with at one time we want to become many things.
Yes.
And that is because of, but in this process also there are few there are people who are trying to redefine this. See, why Modi said that there are only 4 castes. women, nari, this and that. Yeah. Because you understand this fragmentation, ongoing fragmentation based on the caste. And if you want to make India aspirant for the Viksit Bharat, you have to integrate them in one or two or three, four brackets or category. So he's trying to redefine. It's a new sociology, you can say, na? Because he's trying to create a new sociology of India, sociography of India. But on the other hand, because there are two kind of politics are contesting in democracy. One is the politics of hope, and another is the politics of fear. I have trained in a centrist left environment, in ideological environment. But now I now I want to say that Congress, the way Congress is evolving its argument, it is based on the politics of fear, and politics of fear never goes for a long time, because politics of hope, any society can't sustain based on the politics of fear. So you are creating politics of fear, danger of constitution, danger of reservation, danger of this, danger of that. On the other hand, they are trying to revert back with this fear, with their hopes. The way I can't say everyone, but the way Narendra Modi defined Indian politics, Indian society, Indian culture, he tries to make it inclusive. And that is the need of Viksit Bharat, because I'm not saying because if you want to make Viksit Bharat, you have to make India united, not divided. So this is a very interesting contest in Indian politics is going on. You can make the narrative types, a typology of narrative, and if you analyze, you can find there is a contestation of politics of hope and politics of fear, and the caste census in one way reproduced by the politics of fear, but maybe after certain time, if it reproduces its own politics, because caste census has capacity to produce its own politics. How? This quota within quota. Quota within quota emerged from this kind of argument. And here number also matters. See, you are from itna percent, you took many things. Now it's our time, we want this. We are oppressed because we are in less number, that's why we are oppressed. So the politics of less number, the argument, because entire democratic politics in one way deals with the ethics also. So they would let's say because हम कम नंबर के हैं इसलिए हम सफर कर रहे हैं, आप हमारे सारे हित ले रहे हो. But our politicians, mostly centrist politicians, they are not able to understand the power of this quota within quota politics. It is going to recreate future of new Dalit politics in India, and it is started influencing elections. In my analysis, Haryana election is widely influenced by this quota within quota argument, and this argument is also going to influence Maharashtra election in a big way, silently.
I want to understand one thing. The original caste leaders like Mayawati, Mulayam Singh Yadav, Lalu Prasad Yadav, Kashiram, of course, is no more. So is Mulayam Singh Yadav. Mayawati is faded into irrelevance, although she should have been the forefront of this whole debate. Suddenly, the Congress seems to be at the forefront of this caste census debate. It's kind of spearheading this movement. How does that work?
See, actually, there is in one way you can say the kind of problem of Dalit politics, because Kashiram was a very visionary person, and he evolved a politics which made a Dalit women 4-time chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, which was called Kashiram used to call it as Brahmavarth. I will turn it as a Chamaravarth, and he has turned it. So he did. When Mayawati came, when she was working with him, the idea was his, she was just implementing.
Yes.
But when he disappeared, but when he died, the work of conceptualizing, thinking, visualizing all came to her.
Yes.
And that's created problem. So she is not able to respond. Still she has influence. I say that there is no other Dalit leaders in Uttar Pradesh or in northern part of India of her stature. But she's not able to understand the new changes of Dalit community. Why
is that the case?
Because there are new aspirations, because this is the neoliberal time, and this neoliberal time started from 90s, and that brought a lot of change in people's psyche, and which we usually don't understand. We see that Buddhist is one, Dalit is one, Muslim is one, and within them there is a aspiration. What are the aspirations are emerging, and those aspirations are changing their nature and their chahat. And because of those chahat, there are a lot of realignment within the communities being happen. और वो समझ नहीं पा रही है जैसे अभी when this happened this quota within quota तो this led this Krivi debate तो उसने एक बड़ा movement इसके खिलाफ किया and all India protest हुआ and people were beaten at many places. Balmiki were beaten. So I think that is the politics of losing herself. वो अपना बेस को लूज किया उसने उसमें. She couldn't understand that it is going to Congress because Congress had a kind of memory that we had a support of Dalits for longer time.
Yes,
And if we have to sustain in politics and we have to defeat BJP, you need to regain that base.
But is that strategy working?
Yes, and that's the question. See, this is strategy. First of all, I'll say that this strategy is not has a capacity to work for longer time.
Okay.
This
Why
is
is that the case?
This strategy may work in one election, two election, because any slogan, it is based on sloganeering.
Yes.
And slogan has not much longer life.
It's like what you call hawa.
Hawa, it's a hawa, it's a mahal. So you can make mahal with lal kitab and distributing this and iski bachayenge or usko bachayenge. So it impacts people in one election, two election, but not because it is not addressing the issues which is larger, which is a big concern of their life. So like Garibi, no one is talking about Garibi except Modi. It's very interesting. Garibi term was given by the mostly promoted by the Marxist debate.
Yes.
Socialist debate.
Yes.
Now they are not talking about the Garibi. Modi is talking about Garibi. What kind of change? Modi is in their language is a Dakshinpanthi. But he is talking about Garibi. And they are not talking about Garibi. They are talking about caste. So it's very interesting debate between Ambedkar and Kashiram. Ambedkar used to tell that Dalits should leave villages and come to migrate to the city because villages are slaughterhouse for Dalits. And when they will come in the city, it will empower them. It will free them from slavery. Kashiram told, no, when I read an edition of the caste written by Ambedkar, I understood भारत में जाति खत्म नहीं हो सकती है. यानी अम्बेडकर को पढ़ने के बाद मुझे लगा कि जाति खत्म नहीं हो सकती. If you have to abolish caste, you have to cut castes by the caste. जाति से जाति को काटो. So I have tried to revive caste. So when Kashiram used to deliver lecture in any meeting, he started calling Chamar, Pasi, Dhobi, Kori, 20, 30, 100 names of the Dalit caste he used to address. Bhaiyon. So he wanted to
Reinforce caste.
Reinforce the caste identity and reinterpret their history that you are made to rule country. So you have to unite to take master key, Guru Killi in Punjabi they used to call, of the power. The same argument Congress want to use, reviving caste. I'm not saying to cut the caste because their goal is not
To cut caste.
cut caste. So their goal is just to revive caste. So revival of caste for political gain. If Kashiram couldn't sustain for 100 years longer, how you will sustain? Because the argument was in his favor. They are saying, this collaborating with Yadav politics, collaborating with the OBC politics, North Indian kind of OBC politics. Because of that, they see the life in this debate. People are coming, people are participating, supporting, but they don't understand this is going to again strengthen another set of kulak in Marxist language, another set of feudals. Or if you want to save ourselves from this term feudal, another kind of landed elite gentry who is trying to take a major share of the power in the development projects, in the reservation, in various kinds of government. So you are not fighting for redistribution of the power. You are fighting for strengthening such the hegemony of certain castes in the process of distribution, who are trying to sucking the interest of many others. So this caste census, if happen, it will one hand it will strengthen them because they may claim, look, OBC is इतना परसेंट तो हमारे रिजर्वेशन टैग हटाओ वो बैरियर हटाओ और हमें इतना परसेंट दे दो when that percent will come अभी तो सारा बेनिफिट इनको मिलता है तो they are thinking कि we will take this more share from that number because the number will grow percentage will grow तो हमारा share और बढ़ जाएगा but they don't understand that there is a subaltern of their own community are emerging now and they are saying the quota within quota हमको quota within quota दो तो when quota within quota will come
फिर आपको तो ऑटोमेटिकली कम
हो जाएगा So it's again, I'm saying it's a double-edged sword, which they are not able to understand. So Congress is not doing politics of the long-term vision. They are doing politics of the immediate case. And the caste census politics is the caste census can't be a political vision. No, caste census may be a immediate, faury, a strategic vision. जिससे आप गरीबी को या एम्पावरमेंट की लड़ाई को थोड़े समय के लिए रिजॉल्व कर सकते हैं but you can't resolve it.
I still remember that there was an interview of Prashant Kishore I watched and he said that there was a fundamental difference between Modi and Rahul Gandhi, that where Rahul would say everything's answer to India's problems is caste census and Modi would say okay road, okay hospital,
yes,
okay rations, okay Ayushman Bharat, okay this, that. So he's saying, do you realize the difference in the visions? That if you told Rahul Gandhi that this bridge had fallen, he would say caste census. It is like, it's almost funny that if you would say there's a lot of poverty in India. That's why I say caste census.
Caste census.
People don't have food to eat. Caste census.
Caste census, yes. For everything, caste census.
Yes. So there is, when you say about lack of a vision the politics of fear, the politics of hope is basically trying to say that this is what we have to offer for the next 10 years to fulfill the vision of a developed country. Whereas here, this is pretty much regressive, which is saying caste census, they have not been able to really clearly tell us why they want it.
Yes, very right.
And I would have expected a demand for caste census to come from someone like a Mayawati.
Yes.
And because she has lived that experience.
Yes.
And she's been in that framework. She's been an inheritor of Kashi Ram's legacy. But I don't see that happening. It's very strange that it is the Congress spearheading this movement.
Yes, because Congress see immediate
Gains.
Emotive gain because of the caste census.
Yeah.
And emotive gain can't be the long-term vision. And you know, this change happened in the Congress in this last decade. Before that, because we are following Congress for longer time, this was not the Congress vision. And Congress was mostly talking about the bigger things.
Garibi,
yes. But now they understood that because they lost their base and there is no other way to bring those base with them except caste. So they are coming with the caste as a, but it is not going to sustain. And also for the future of India, you know, very interesting. You are the historian. You must have followed. There is no politician in India who has talked about future. Have you heard future in Nehru literature?
No.
Have you heard future about any literature?
No, it was always about then.
There, present. And also, if there is a future, 5-year plan.
Yeah.
5-year plan say we will plan our future time to hai nahi, but there is a one place where Ram Manohar Lohia talks about future, and he says that he's criticizing political parties. The Indian political parties have no vision to think about future. He is telling about, and especially he's talking about communists. Inke paas to hai hi nahi. Modi is the only politician after freedom. मैं उनकी बहुत तारीफ नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बट क्रिटिकली अगर आप एनालिटिकली देखें तो he has talked about future 2047 or 1000 years future or 100 years future. So future as a political discourse he brought in our debate of the politics, and that is about the politics of hope, because he's giving यू होप कि 2047 में आप विकसित भारत हो जाओगे, आप विश्वगुरु हो जाओगे, आप 1000 साल में ये हो जाओगे, यू हैव टू लीड, यू हैव टू, तो दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ vision of the future. Congress is not thinking about the vision of the future. Nehru has a vision of future, but he didn't articulate because of he has a problems, because he had to, he was the first chief prime minister, उनके साथ बहुत दिक्कतें होंगी, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि उनमें कोई इनकैपेबिलिटी थी, बट उनके पास इतनी समस्याएं रही होंगी. Similarly, Lohia had another challenge, he was facing that. But Modi, since he is thinking about in this way, so he's the only politician. And second big shift has been happened, which I told to you, 90s, post 90s politics, post 90s community, post 90s society, and they are the founder of the post 90s Congress. PV Narasimha Rao ने पहली बार लिबरलाइजेशन का वो साइन किया और लिया है. मनमोहन सिंह extended it. But they couldn't give the politics which suits to this neoliberal requirement. Modi came as a reply. Modi gave the response to the neoliberal time. Look, for this kind of economic argument, this kind of governance argument, you need this kind of administration. And he came with that kind of vision. And this vision is also aspirate, the aspirational community. It is the word of the post-90s politics and society. And the market liberalization. So many things needs a kind of political language, and Modi is trying to articulate. But I don't know why Rahul Gandhi is trained in the West. He understands neoliberal time, although he is a critic of neoliberal time in one way, because he is not in that way very supportive of neoliberal time. But at least you are working in a society where neoliberal progress is going on. तो आपको तो करना पड़ेगा, यू विल हैव टू रिस्पॉन्ड विद द पॉलिटिक्स, बट आप उसी पॉलिटिक्स ही नहीं दे पा रहे हो. तो मोदी एंड बीजेपी इज ट्राइंग टू गिव दैट काइंड ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स जो कि न्यू लिबरल टाइम के रिक्वायरमेंट को सपोर्ट करे.
But do you think this caste census slogan will work in the election? Because you have a counter to it, which has been spearheaded by the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, saying, "Batoge to katoge." So that's a counter argument, which calls for unity, which has been the battle cry of Hindutva, that you have to be united. So does that work? And in Maharashtra, what do you think is the trend? Does this concept of caste census work, or a concept of a unified Hindu community? Okay, whatever may be our differences, but we are all one.
See, this, you're very right. There's this Batoge and Katoge came in it, is a slogan of crisis, because crisis emerged from the parliamentary election.
Yes.
And they realized that when caste identity will grow, again the revival of identity politics,
Yes.
caste identity politics.
And we know what destruction it did in the 90s and 80s.
Yes, yes. And caste identity politics may be negotiated, may be suppressed
Yes.
by either religion,
Yes.
religious identity, or developmental identity.
Yes.
So Modi is trying to suppress caste identity politics by developmental politics. So he's redefined the caste in a new way. That's why he told four castes. There is, and when they fail in that, then they come with this Hindutva unity. So this time Yogi Adityanath came with this slogan, and it reflects the churning, this political churning which Samajwadi Party and others wanted to create in society. And that is division in their term. It was division. For in their term, it's a mobilization, and for BJP term, it's a division.
Yeah.
So it happened. But Batoge may be a term which can be used in various contexts.
Yes.
In Hindu context, it may be the caste division. Maybe in other concept, nation don't be divided, otherwise we will lose national spirit, whatever. But this Batoge thing,
It's a very bold statement.
it's a very bold statement. And at the grassroots, if you see, both sentiment works together, like caste identity and the religious identity. Sometimes religious identity dominate caste identity, sometimes caste identity dominate religious identity. It depends on politics. If politics pick up, as powerful politics pick up one argument, so he may have a capacity to make that argument influence him. So they have done since before my book Republic of Hindutva. It was I tried to document for longer time. They worked at the grassroots to create Hindutva identity. But after इधर 6-7-8 सालों से Sanjay is working there, but BJP was talking more about developmental identity.
Yes.
And when they saw that this developmental identity has some monotony or created some monotony or lethargy आने लगी है इसमें, or it is going to lose. So it is not going to lose at very in many sections of society, because at the poor, for the poor, it's very vibrant.
Yes.
But middle class में तो आप जानती हैं, they always want something new. So for them, if you are not going to do any new thing constantly, so their caste identity will be worse. So this Batoge and Katoge, that's why it came. If you see the historical reason of coming this. Now your question about the Maharashtra. I think Maharashtra also, Batoge, Modi has revised this slogan, एक रहोगे तो safe रहोगे. So it is more sophisticated slogan. Yogi ji is in that way very and you thought forceful politician.
Yes,
But
and Prime Minister has to be prime ministerial.
A prime serious.
And he has to be a little.
हाँ. So एक रहोगे तो safe रहोगे may work in Maharashtra also.
Yes.
How it will work? It will work because in Maharashtra also, if you see, there is a contest between 3 kind of identities.
Yes.
Maharashtra selection. One is traditional caste identity.
Yes.
Maratha, OBCs, this and that, Dalits. Other is, everyone does that kind of politics. Second is developmental identity, which I am saying this beneficiary identities. This is which works at the grassroots very silently, and they are at the same time they are the caste, they are the religion, and they are also beneficiary. So whenever we analyze election, we always miss this beneficiary shift, the beneficiary consciousness, beneficiary aspirations. We see this woman, so women इनको वोट देगी, Muslim तो इनको वोट देगा, Dalit तो इनको वोट देगा. They don't understand there is a big shift in the community psyche. So that developmental identity, and third is the emergence of Hindutva identity at the grassroots level, and that identity is in our everyday life. But when political social groups like Sangh or BJP, if they mobilize it for bigger cause, then they become very.
But I have a question, Badri Narayan. This religious identity, when it's Sena versus Sena, how does it work? Because Uddhav Thackeray's Sena is he claims it's the original Sena. And then this Shinde ji, who's the chief minister, the sitting chief minister, says it is his Shiv Sena, which reflects the true vision of Bala Sahib Thackeray. So how does this Hindu unity or identity work in the Sena versus Sena battle?
Very what's the question? It's a very apt question. Actually, Sena versus Sena nowadays is not in that way Hindu versus Hindu, because Uddhav Thackeray has a base among Hindu community, and still he has a base. But the argument on which he's contesting election, not on the Hindutva.
He's not
talking about that. He is contesting election on the reservation thing, the community development, or promises for this and that. So secular agenda he has, and similarly Congress and all. This Shinde is also not contesting election this time on the Hindu.
Do you think that's a shift? Because they have always contested on
this. No, that's let me tell. BJP is also not talking election, not contesting election in that way. But BJP came with this slogan, "Ek rahoge to safe rahoge." It means Hindutva is there, but not Hindutva as a mobilizational factor. is brand, no, it's a bigger identity, and bigger identity में रहो, then you do whatever you like, but be united. So Sindhe and BJP have emerged as a big claimant for Hindutva voters, because एक रहोगे safe रहोगे has given the Hindu कहते हैं ना जो हिंदू वोट की कमान या हिंदू साइकी की कमान in the hand of BJP, because no one is talking about that, and he is talking about एक रहोगे तो safe रहोगे, so why don't we become एक? Well, that kind of argument is going on. So Sena versus Sena में उन्होंने हिंदुत्व का, he has left the हिंदुत्व argument, and this BJP has taken over that argument, on this narrative, and Sindhe is just a kind of side role, playing a side role in that debate. But you know, Sindhe in three months, he had brought a lot of populist policies which are working well at the grassroots in Maharashtra.
So, but then that brings me back to my original question. If the question of Shiv Sena was always, since its founding members thing was also about Hindu identity, Maratha identity, Shivaji's prominent role in the history of this country, and Shiv Senics as protectors and guardians, like Shivaji was protectors and guardians of interests of people. Do you think they realize that they are ceding space to the BJP, which is their space? Because if Sena and Sena are not taking up populist slogans, then BJP is taking up the slogan of Balasaheb Thackeray.
That's a transformation, and that has to be done. Maybe in the future, Maharashtra politics, the Hindutva argument will be taken over by the BJP. And because this internal fight between these two fractions had weakened their claims. And since there is a no Balasaheb Thackeray kind of iconic leader, so, and Modi is iconic in everywhere. And if he get the slogan, Ek rahoge to safe rahoge, people trust on that. People trust on his words. So he, because of this, and because of mixing developmental identity with unitive Hindu identity, may work together in the favor of them. And in the future of Maharashtra politics, I see that Hindutva argument will go in the favor of BJP.
Because I see even
BJP is the party of the future of Maharashtra.
Maharashtra. But because I feel even with the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, he has largely campaigned in whichever state he has campaigned. He's been consistent with his Hindutva battle cry, because that is a badge of honor that he wears. That has largely been responsible for, I think, or an outcome of the 2024 Lok Sabha results. So I feel even that would have an impact on Uttar Pradesh now, when the by-elections, there are 9 seats that by-elections happen. I think that slogan is also kept in mind, keeping in mind that 2027 also we are staring at another election in Uttar Pradesh, and caste census and everything is going to become an issue. So maybe the Chief Minister has built up this battle cry that this is going to be the clarion call to everyone, that this is an issue of survival.
Actually, this is the test case.
Yeah.
This test for 27, this is a there's this strategy which he floated. It is in fact a test for 2027.
Yeah.
If it will work well, it means it will. And there is no other option. You have either you have to go to the caste identity frame, or you have to counter it. And if you have to counter it, you have to come with either development identity with this batoge to katoge or ek rahoge to safe rahoge kind of. Now you must have seen Yogi Adityanath also has revised his slogan. बटोगे तो कटोगे को थोड़ा उन्होंने चेंज किया है, सेफ रहोगे वाला आर्गुमेंट वो भी ला रहे हैं वहाँ पे ला रहे हैं.
I think that is also because initially when he started off, and this was right after the Lok Sabha elections, he wanted to be more forceful. That look what has happened in UP. Do we want a repeat? So I think to shake everyone up, he needed that kind of a slogan where everyone would be like, what? What did he just say? And everyone, if it was a soft slogan, I don't think so it would have had the desired impact. than a slogan which is so forceful. Immediately, everyone took notice. It grabbed headlines. The opposition also responded saying, "Saath ladenge to badhenge."
जुड़ेंगे तो
Badhenge. And I think he was aiming for a desired response, and he got the desired.
maybe you are right.
Yes.
This is a strategic floating,
Yes.
float,
Yes.
dropping in the ocean. No, it's तेरे एक पत्थर फेंको तो पहले
Test waters.
and then you give another kind of argument.
I have a last question for you, and this is a very pertinent question because I don't know if it is reflected enough on TV debates, and that's why probably we are having this conversation. TV debates, we largely have this discussion saying, where is the Dalit vote going? What Dalit vote this, Dalit community that? Is it only that TV debates have not captured that Dalit politics is changing and it is not homogeneous? And we need to stop presenting it as homogeneous, and we need to start to look at it in a very varied form? Or is it that with this quota within quota, how is it going to impact the Dalit politics in the next coming 2-3 decades?
See, actually, this is a problem of entire journalistic interpretation.
Yes.
Especially in television channels.
Yeah.
They either see the things very superficially or put it in the binary ways.
Yes.
This versus that है तो ये इसको वोट देगा वो उसको वोट देगा. No, they have made their sides and the positioning very clear. They just put the things in their building, in their frames. They don't understand the changing society, the nature of. See, even OBC is not a in that way category, homogeneous category. In Maharashtra, if you see the 4-5 important castes, Dhangar, Banjaris, Kumbis, they all constitute together OBC community, and they have their own political mobilizations since 10-20 years. They have their own leaders, so they will follow their leaders, their political party, their leaders, and they will go towards them. But whenever they say OBC यहाँ जाएगा, OBC वहाँ जाएगा, no, Dalit politics has a similar problem, because we see Dalit as a homogeneous category, but Dalit is not homogeneous category. Dalit is a very caste divided community, and we have in every state you see we have list of SC 50, 20, 55, 60, and in that you can find the one caste is the dominant. Our second caste is lesser than that, and mostly second caste lead the movement against the dominant caste.
Yes. That you have got all the benefits. Now it's hard.
Chamar versus Pasi, Barmiki versus Chamars in Punjab, Mala and Madiga in Andhra Pradesh, Mahar and Matang in Maharashtra. Everywhere there is. So this, first of all, homogeneity is broken by the second largest caste. And second largest caste lead the subclassification movement, because they have a capacity, because they have a number, and around them, the smaller castes get united. So this quota within quota is a need for a contemporary Dalit mobilization. And it's a future. It is going to define future for Dalit politics in India, because who will think about them? If they will, the political parties, Congress, Minister of the Andhra Pradesh decided that will support this. Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka में उन्होंने किया, but the Congress central leadership is not talking about that. Even BJP, PM Modi already committed to Madiga leader that, and BJP is. But when they started talking in television channels, everywhere television, so there's no one in the favor of, very less people in the favor of quota within quota in television debate, because most of them, the panelists, when they invite from the dominant caste, those who are dominating, like Shamal, like Jattals, like this kind of comment. I told in one debate that why don't you invite Madiga? Why don't you invite Matang? Why you are inviting Mahas in that? They will talk about their own interests.
Yes.
So quota within quota. So first of all, community is not homogeneous. It's very very heterogeneous, and this is a very कहते हैं ना हम लोग को प्रिय sentence है हम लोगों का since 20 years. And I wrote a book, Fractured Tales, Invisibles in Indian Democracy, 12 years back when I was in JNU, that book came. So when that book came, before that, most of Dalit scholars were I was the blue-eyed boy for them. Gopal Guru, Thorat, no, everyone was. But when that book came, they started criticizing me. Oh, Badri is trying to divide our community because that book talks about quota within quota.
Yes.
I studied the grassroots and I tried to capture their aspirations, their chahat, and brought in that book. So that, and after that, it's happened the things in that way. So, secondly, quota within quota is going to decide the future electoral nature, future of electoral politics in India. So, jeet or har, whenever we decide, analyze jeet and har, we analyze with the certain parameters and frame which we have in mind. In that, we miss the impact of quota within quota. We have to consider this quota within quota impact while discussing Dalit mobilization, while studying the election results in any state. And that is going to decide, because silently, slowly, a major portion of your community shift towards others.
Yes.
And you are thinking they are with me, but they are not with you. Suppose that Mayawati thinks that in Haryana, Valmiki will vote us. Then they are not going to vote us. They think that Dhandar will vote us. They're not going to vote you.
And with each election also, they're not consistent.
Haan.
Their choices change.
Change.
Every election, like between Lok Sabha and Haryana Vidhan Sabha, the choices have changed.
And what happened, Aishwarya, when the second largest will get this year,
Yes.
then others who are not getting this year, they will emerge.
Yes.
So it's a constant, you can say, the constant remobilization,
Yes.
the kind of reproduction of the mobilization will take place in the community. So till last of the last,
Yes.
I will not empowered. तो ये धीरे धीरे democratic consciousness slowly trickle down करती है नीचे, and they make us aware for our rights, and then we get mobilized, and in that situation the dominant become defensive.
Yes.
The way Brahmin become defensive.
Yes.
When they say that you have taken a lot of reservation benefit,
Yes.
you can't say I have not taken. You have taken, so you become defensive. So the ethical power of the minority or the lesser will make them empowered, and that our role as a scholar, as a media journalist, as a politician, to always support these smaller, these lesser, and we have to speak for them. People say that you are not Dalit. Why you are talking about Dalit? We are talking about Dalit because there is no one to talk about them.
Yes.
If they will come and start talking about them, तो हम नहीं बोलेंगे. Then they will speak. But अभी आप नहीं बोल रहे हो, तो हम लोग बोल रहे हैं. So we started that debate 15 years ago in academics and in politics.
And the very fact that post Mayawati and and Kashiram, a Dalit politician on a national scale has not emerged in this country says a lot about the Dalit empowerment and the long way it has to go.
And also Dalit scholar. If you see the Dalit scholars, list of Dalit scholar, mostly from dominant Dalit caste.
Yes.
The most marginal community, they have not
still-
journalists,
they're still
scholars, they are still waiting.
Yes.
So that's so they are not no one to speak for them.
Yes.
I told you in the entire television debate, there was no representation of those community. कोई वाल्मीकि से कोई बोलने वाला नहीं था, and no one invited them. So they invited one or two, but not much.
Like I've seen in the television debates that among the Muslims, they will always representatives who they say that these are the Muslim representatives. Predominantly, they are from the head of the Deobandi or the Firangi Mahal, or some ulema or some ideologue who's there. The other Pasmanda Muslims or their representation or their ideas, nobody discuss. It never comes to the forefront.
In debates.
Yeah.
Like whenever they talk about Dalit, Dalit means this dominant, and their aspirations, their demands will come in that. It's this same happening with the caste census
Yes,
debate.
yes.
Because caste census, no one is going to ask a Hari or Begar, do you want caste census? वो caste census जानता भी नहीं है. बट आप जब उनको समझाओगे कि ये caste census ये है, अगर होगा तो तुमको रिजर्वेशन मिलेगा. कहाँ रिजर्वेशन मिलना चाहिए? He wants reservation, but he is not worried about caste census or कैसे. But that's the thing.
Thank you so much for a very engaging conversation. I think our viewers would have had an insightful discussion about this issue, which is becoming the central issue. And I think it will remain a burning issue because we are staring at elections in Uttar Pradesh next year and then subsequently in states like Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh again, where caste census, caste reservation will continue to divide and collide the voters in the years to come. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Sashwarya. Very nice to be here in your podcast program and discuss this issue for your audience, for your listeners. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.